Why you ain't telling me it was Sister Karimah?
I am Sister Karimah.
I know I'm talking about CJ. Why you ain't tell me it was you?
How you didn't know it was me?
He didn't say who it was.
It's me. Walaikum salam. What's going on, y'all?
What's good?
None.
I don't know why I'm on the call. He just said, I said, okay.
No, so. we don't ever talk to women. So we won't talk to.
And then we get accused of having women when we shouldn't.
we don't
you know what?
Well, look, right. So you in Texas. What part of Texas you in?
Houston.
You in Houston?
Mm-hmm.
And how long you been Muslim?
I've been Muslim 6 years. I reverted in April 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
What's the community like down there?
I would say it's not many black Muslims here. You have more of your Pakistani people, people from the Middle East. Like we have some black Muslims, but we don't have a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, it's straight. Like the masjid that I attend, the imam, they're from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, they're from Pittsburgh. So that's one of the black communities that I know of. I don't really know too many. I think they have Waradeen Muhammad, his masjid. Mm-hmm. And then they have a new one, but it's kind of like a mixture of people. But the one that I attend is predominantly black. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you do have, people coming off work, that are different nationalities or whatever to come for Juma.
Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
And so when you took your shahada, what made you take your shahada?
Really, I was going through a lot. Like my grandmother raised me and my sister, and I was just kind of going through a whole bunch of stuff or whatever, and like not knowing. I started going to church because my grandmother didn't make us go to church. So we kind of had that choice to do whatever we wanted to do when we were grown. So I started going to Lakewood Church. I didn't like it. I started going to St. John's Church, which is downtown. That's the church that Beyonce attended from when she was a little girl. And I know the pastor, he actually is my cousin's cousin. It's a big church. But I was just really, to be honest, like I was going back and forth overseas to the UK, and I had a boyfriend, and my boyfriend was Muslim, and I didn't know he was Muslim at the time. So he would dip out at certain times, and I'm like, what you doing? So I asked him, and it just came to my brain, like, what are you? And he was like, what do you mean, what am I? And I said, well, what are you? Like, what's your religion? So he told me he was Muslim. And at that time, it was a bunch of Islamophobe and hate and stuff. So I was like, what is a Muslim? Like, I knew I had like 2 Muslim cousins in my family, but I didn't talk to them like that. So I really didn't know what it was. So when the guy, he told me what Islam was, he was like, we believe in God and his prophets. And, he kind of, and then he showed me a video of Kali Yasin, The Purpose of Life. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that video, like it just really started to click to me. And I ended up leaving the UK because I would go back and forth to the UK a lot. Mm-hmm. And I used to always wonder, like, why those ladies had those things on their head, And so I came back, and I remember I ended up having, like, I remember I was upset and I was crying about something. And it's like that day I was like, I need to take my shahada, because I had started looking myself, without him. And I read on how you take your shahada and all this kind of stuff or whatever. And I ended up taking my shahada. and my friend was telling me it was a masjid because me and my best friend, we worked together, and in that area was a mosque. And she was telling me like it's one of those places, you know, where Muslims pray at. And I'm like, the mosque? And she was like, yeah. She was like, you know, it's one like 15 minutes from here. And I was like, no. So I was crying like so bad. And I just went in and made ghusl. I made ghusl. And then I took my shahada. And then I think a year after me, my son took his shahada.
Wow.
But he started like, they started to see like different changes in me and stuff because I stopped drinking. Like I used to drink, you know, I did what, you know, what everybody else was doing. Like I stopped drinking. I stopped going out, like to clubs and stuff. Like I just feel like this a new me. I don't, you know, want to engage in that no more, whatever. But yeah, I've been Muslim 6 years and going on 7. Inshallah, I'll be 7. And I remember when I was working, nobody knew that I was Muslim and I wasn't, you know, covering or whatever. So I slowly kind of started like tying a turban. And then I remember asking them like on my lunch break, I was like, I needed to go to the mosque and pray. So my job, they kind of caught on to what was going on. And they just told me like, basically, you can pray here. I could pray at work. They knew me. They let me out for Eid and all that. Like, it was just, I don't know, I had like a pretty good journey, you know?
That's good.
So, yeah. But enough of my ranting.
So how would you get a boyfriend in the UK? That's what I'm wondering.
I was because I had a cousin that lived in Scotland. She left America and she moved to Scotland with her husband for a job. And I had always wanted to go to the UK. So when she moved, that was my opportunity, you know, to go over there. And so I ended up going to England, transporting, you know, going to go see her in Scotland. And that's how I ended up with a boyfriend. So, yeah.
Nigga scooped you over there. Huh? And then what
Oh,
happened?
I've been to England a lot of time. That passport been stamped.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
And then what happened? You dumped you?
But I dumped him.
Why you dump him?
Like, I guess it's because I started seeing like, no, it was because I had this perception like, you're a Muslim, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Like when I started reading for myself and I was like, he doing too much. He was doing. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect because I'm not. I'm far from perfect, you know. But at the time, I was like, this not for me. He doing too much. Like he running the streets and in the clubs and he doing the most. I don't want to tell his sins, but yeah, he was doing too much.
But that little bit of the whatever you saw in him made you know.
Yeah.
Allah showed some more in him that helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
yeah.
Good.
Yep. And then I remember I had my first Ramadan. Oh my God. Y'all know that the nights are longer in England at a certain time of year.
Yeah.
And it was Ramadan, my first Ramadan. Oh my goodness. I couldn't do it. I couldn't fast. That was my first time ever fasting or trying to fast for so long. Like it was like, I think an extra, I want to say 4 hours extra than what I'm used to here in the States. Yeah, because the sun starts coming up, I want to say like at 4:00 in the morning. So from 4 until like 9:30 at night, you not eating? Oh man, I couldn't even do it. I was like, the first year was no good for me. I was like, oh no, I can't do this. But after that, like it started to get better. And then, you know, by me being here, like I can do it here. But over there, I mean, if I was to go now, then I probably could because I'm trained to do it.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah.
Yeah, now you owe like a month of Ramadan. We gonna need those Ramadan back.
For real.
So what's been your experience since then? Like, and like how have the Muslims treated you?
Okay. Honestly, let's just be
Yeah,
honest.
be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first took my shahada, like you know how you take your shahada, everybody is like so welcoming and oh my God, mashallah, you become Muslim. Man, look, it seemed like after that you on your own, like you just on your own. So I started like I would go to different masjids, right? Because at one point I was driving, so I had to stop and go pray. These people, they don't even want to pray by you. Like they will hold up. It will be a big gap in the middle because they looking at you like you don't belong in this mosque. You know what I'm saying? And then around like, oh, you know, you give salams and stuff like that to non-black Muslims because, like I said, we don't really have a lot of black Muslims here, and they won't give you salams back. They look at you like, is she really a Muslim? Or they kind of like be trying to scope you out or whatever. But for the most part, like, I mean, it's cool. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I'm just like, whatever, to each his own. So I started noticing, like, I would go to one mosque, Miriam. It's in Sugarland. And the population is, I guess we want to say Pakistani or whatever. And I started going there a lot because I was always in that area. And they finally started getting used to seeing my face. So it started to, I guess they started to open up a little bit more, you know? But Islam in Houston is totally different because I've been to Philly, I've been to New York. You know, it's totally different. You don't really see a lot of us out there. I mean, out here, you don't really see a lot of us. You know, I was in the store one day and a lady came up to me, a black lady. She was like, oh my God, you are like one of the first black Muslims that I've seen because I had my hijab on. So she was like, I've never seen a Muslim. She said she had been living in Houston for like, I want to say 6-7 months. And she had never seen a black Muslim woman. And I was like, wow, like we don't really have that many. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like it is what it is. You know, I got that experience when I went to Philadelphia to be around so many covered sisters, you know, but they something different out there. So, you know, they different than what I know.
And in what way? Like, what
Yeah, what do you mean? Like they not subtle?
impression?
No, it's how can I put it? Like they just own something else. I don't want to say too much, but they just own something else. Like what do they what do you call it? Majority of that Muslim population is out there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I won't say much. I mean, to each his own, you know. But they
I'm
just
more interested in your experience. How do you?
the sisters was nice. Like the sisters, I'll tell you, like the sisters are nice or whatever. I've had several of the men approach me, you know, through via Facebook, Instagram, and I actually was talking to a brother out there, and he wasn't who he said he was. So
who did he
that
say?
kind of he was he was.
Say his name.
No, don't say.
I'm not gonna say his name, but he didn't work. He lied about that. I found out some stuff through his family that I should have known right off the bat, and I did not know, and it just completely just turned me left. So, you know, so I had a bad experience, just put it like that, and I ain't with it. I'm just not with it. You know, I would rather not say what the experience was, but no.
Just that one situation, or it was like multiple?
No, it's like I've had people actually thought that I was from Philadelphia. And I'm like, how did y'all get that? Like just by my photos? I don't think that I look like I'm from Philly.
You don't look like I mean, this is my first time formally meeting you, but we've been Facebook friends now for like some time.
For a while, yeah.
So I mean, you know, your appearance, I would have thought you was from out here until I heard you talk. I think maybe the time I saw a video of you on Facebook and you were talking.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, she's from the South. And
Yeah.
yeah, okay. But
yeah, but I just it's been multiple. I would say multiple because a lot of the people, period, women too, they think that I'm from out there and I'm not. And I'm like, how do y'all get that?
well, also you're in all of our circles. So
Yeah.
the thing is though, I mean, we get that a lot too. Like I get in arguments.
Yeah.
Who's on YouTube and YouTube comments because
Yeah.
everybody got a perception of Philly Muslims, right? And I have to tell these niggas all the time, like, nigga, I'm not from Philly at all. So what do you? And they be like, oh yeah, y'all on that Philly shit. And I'm like, bro, I ain't even from Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And ain't nothing Philly about me, but you know, but because we run in the, I mean, that's the thing about Facebook, which is kind of dope. You know, everybody with similar interests all over the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You end up having mutual friends and you be in the same groups, the same interest groups and stuff. So it starts to feel like family. And then a lot of times you see people, like, especially in those groups, they start having like group meetups and stuff. So stuff ends up happening. And I guess that's why they assume there was a lot of us in Philly, a whole lot.
But
yeah, a lot of people think I'm from Philly too. See, they ask me that all the time.
I've actually met a sister. Like I've met a lot of sisters that I talk to on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. But I actually went out there, and when I met this guy, right, I ended up meeting one of the girls that follows me on Instagram. Real sweet, you know, real nice lady or whatever. So I will say that I've met someone off of, you know, social media from there, like a woman. You know what I'm saying? But it's just not my kind of hype out there. So that was just I mean, I like the city. I like, you know, seeing all the sisters because I'm not used to seeing sisters walking around covered, like for real. You don't see that out here. Like a lot of the non-black Muslims too. Like sometimes you will see them and you would know that they were Muslim or not. You know what I'm saying? So you really, like, Houston is huge. I don't know if y'all ever been out here, but Houston is so big and it's so spaced out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to drive everywhere. You cannot just get on a bus, like, in certain cities or states or whatever. You can just get on a bus or get on the train. No, you have to have transportation out here. So I don't really see too many out here. So the feel is like, it's different. Like I was just like so happy when I was out there because I'm around so many, you know, so many of what I don't see out here per se or whatever. And even when I was in New York, because I was married to a brother from New York. And like when I first became Muslim, I married a brother from New York out there. And
how did that happen?
I actually met him, and don't y'all laugh at me because I didn't know like where I would meet a Muslim man at, right? When I first became Muslim, I actually met him on a Muslim site. Yes. I met him. I met him on Muslima. Yes.
Yeah.
I met him on there, and I actually met him and somebody else on there, and I still keep in contact till this day. Real cool brother, you know. But like I say, I always say you can be who you want to be on the internet. Let's just put it like that. You can be Superman if you want to, and have somebody to believe you that you Superman. So when you got married, so you did you fly out to New York to get married or what happened? He flew here. He actually flew here. To be honest, he was a decent brother. He's a good brother. He just had issues with his ex. And that's one of the things that I've had recently from the guy that I was with. No, you know, is these exes. And I'm just like, what? I don't understand. Like, you can't set boundaries. It's like nobody's setting boundaries on, you know, what needs to be paid and about the kids and all this. I feel like when you are divorced or you getting divorced or whatever, you need to have things set up before you try to step into another relationship. You know, and with me, I'm feeling like, okay, well, I can handle it. I can handle this ex being this, you know, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it because I feel like you're doing more than over there than what you actually doing here. So I was like, no, we not doing it. So I just I was vocal about it both times. I was vocal about it. I said what I needed to say. You can fix the problem, and I know it might take a little, you know, it might take a few steps, and I'm willing to work on that. But you're not gonna just exclude me all the way. We're not doing it.
Did the brother move to you, or you
No, we were actually going back and forwards. We were actually going back and forth. I would fly to New York. He would fly. And it, to be honest, it worked out for a while. It did work out. I will say it worked out. But to me, it was like these women, like they have holds on these men. And he finally eventually divorced her. He did divorce her.
So
he was married. Well,
he was married through it wasn't Islam. She was a Christian. She was a Christian.
Right.
Yeah. So they were married through the courts legally.
They separated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the problem. And then they were still living under the same roof.
Oh.
And this happened twice. This twice. So, and I know you see me ranting on, you know, Facebook or whatever. Like, I just can't do it because, like I say, I feel like if you got married through the courts, right? And you know that there's still some stuff that you might be still taking care of bills over here. You know, you need to take care of all of that before you hop into another relationship because you don't know how that affects the other person. And I'm looking at it like, wait a minute now. First of all, I know, like, you know, a Muslim man can have up to 4 wives. I know that. But y'all divorced. This person didn't work for 10 years and still not trying to work. So you still taking care of somebody that you not really even married to. You married to him legally, but through Islam, you're not married to him. And you still doing that and not taking care of home. We have a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah. But they don't see that that's a problem. And then that's when fingers start getting pointed. So both times, that's why I'm by myself once again. And I said, this time I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do things how I want to do it. I'm not going to just let a man just come in my ear and be like, oh, mashallah, sister, you so beautiful. I'm not trying to hit it. I'm just not. Like, I've heard that so many times. That doesn't even move or shake me, to be honest. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't blow my head up. None of that. I'm like, okay, I want to know, how did you grow up? What kind of family did you come from? Are you on drugs? How many kids do you have? Have you ever been on drugs? I need to know all this. Like, it is so important. And I tell people all the time, if you're going to get married, you better look at a person and how they grew up, because you can get with somebody and the way that they grew up, they start bringing that stuff into your relationship and you be like, what's wrong with you? Like, this is not the person that I met. You sneaking something on me. Like, this not you. This is not who you said you were. Like, you know, because I'm going to be me regardless. Like, I'm going to be me. This is me. Y'all see this? This is me. I'm not finna switch it up and be like, surprise, here I am. I do that. But yeah, like, I've had some, Lord, I've had some rough patches.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm just,
but you know, alhamdulillah, you didn't, you know, you ain't leave. A lot of times, I see a lot of sisters I know personally, just in my area, you know, became Muslim, and I don't like when people put that stigma on women where they say like, oh, you know, she only became a Muslim because of her boyfriend or whatever. It don't matter how you got here.
Yeah.
Like, however you got here, you got here. But then a lot of times you see people, especially sisters, and then they may leave the religion or they, you know, after the relationship's over or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think the women got a lot more pressure on them, more than we have on us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of the way that our society is now. I mean, it's not supposed to be that way. The way it should be in the Sharia, you know, the men are supposed to bear the responsibility of everything.
Mm.
But you know, the way we live is just kind of weird. You know what I mean? But you know, it's dope. Like you didn't get discouraged or anything. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not gonna get discouraged. I just feel like, you know, throughout these relationships or whatnot, I feel like I've done the man and the woman's part. I was a provider. I was all of that. You know, I'm one of those ones that if I see, you know, my man doing bad, I'm finna lift you up. We gon' you know, we gonna get lifted up together. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. If you mad, who we mad? You know, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And I was paying my own bills, for one, all of them. I actually had 2 car notes at one point because this other person didn't have a vehicle. So I went out and got another car. So just so this person get, you know, back and forth to work. And I just said, you know what? Enough is enough. This is backwards. This is so backwards. And I'm not gonna keep doing this because I'm used to being the provider anyway. Mm-hmm. I had never lived, or a man has ever lived with me until I became Muslim. It was me and my son. And yeah, like I had never, you know, like boyfriends or whatever, they didn't live with me. We wasn't shacking up. But when I got married, it was different. You know, I enjoy being married. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I really enjoy being married. But when I started to see, like, I'm doing the bulk once again, oh, no. I could do the bulk by myself. I mean, I don't need you living out for me.
Yeah.
That's just what it was. I don't need you living out for me. Like, we doing reverse roles here, you know? And then it's like when I start speaking, you know, and right now, y'all, we know that people have lost their jobs due to COVID and all this stuff. Like, I get it. Like, I get it. You know, you lost your job because of this and that, but you still get unemployment. You still, you know, are able to provide, and you're not providing for my household. You providing for that household. So
yeah, I get it.
You need to go stay over there. That's just how I see it. Like, I'm just tired of, that's my main thing, is getting with someone and having to continuously do what I've done before that person even came into the picture. So I feel like this, like, you might as well just be by yourself.
What kind of work do you do?
Accounts receivable.
So you're not a chef? Huh?
No, I've had a food truck. Like, I'm a cook. I say I'm a cook. Yeah. I'm not. My grandmother taught me how to cook at age 12. You know, I've had my own food truck. I've, you know, so as y'all would say, platters. We say plates, you know, yeah. and you talking about I can do that.
I can't. I just like to cook. I could never.
No, yeah. I've done that. Like, I've actually made a living doing it, you know. But I've been in like the banking industry since I was like 19 years old. You know, so I've always had a job dealing with numbers, always. And then when I was going back and forth to London, I kind of like stopped working for a little bit to travel. Mm-hmm. And then I came back and I started working again. I was at the company that I recently was laid off in September. Mm-hmm. And I was with that company for like 7 years. You know, so now it's what's next. That's the thing now. Like, what's next? Do I want to go to school? You know, do I want to go back to work right now? Like, I'm not one to.
How about you jump in the stock market with me? You know what I mean?
I was looking at that. Like, no, seriously, like on your page. Mm-hmm. I'm interested. Like, what do you do? Like, I don't know anything about stock. Like, really, I don't.
I'm doing everything, a little bit of everything, and I mean, that's not my main thing. You know, I got a barbershop, but yeah, I'm trying to make that my main thing. So, I mean, I'm always kind of here, but I'm trying to.
Because like, I've heard like, oh my God, stock is haram. Like, the haram police is out and everything is haram. So I've heard that. Like, I'm serious. Like, the haram police is rampant. Okay.
Nah,
Like,
it's not. I mean, really, real talk. It's not haram at all. Like if um, it's no different than like if you were to, let's say you wanted to start the food truck, and you
mm-hmm,
came to me and you said, "Hey man, I want to borrow some money. You make an investment into this food truck." All right,
yeah,
cool. If I gave you $10,000, you go flip the 10,000 and you give me back 12,000.
okay,
That's what the stock market is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You do that on different commodities. So whether that's stocks, whether that's
Mm-hmm.
options, like so the stuff that I trade in my that I post in my Instagram stories, those are option trades that I do. Um,
mm-hmm,
whether you do it in foreign currencies, like the dollar and other currencies, whether you do it with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, it's all
mm-hmm,
different kind of ways. I mean, it really, this is the way that the world works. And then if you come from the banking industry,
yeah,
all they do with our money, they take our money and they take it and make more money with it, and they get
yeah.
paid for it. So,
Mm.
I mean, we could talk about that after this if you want. You know, because I'm always looking to put people down, man. I want.
Yeah, man, because I've been hearing that it's haram and it's this. And I'm like, man, after a while, everything gonna be haram.
So now, all right. So in the 6 years that you've been Muslim, how many
Yeah.
how many I'm not trying to like play them, but like
How many times I've been married?
how many
3.
3 times?
And it's just been rubbed me the wrong way, y'all.
That's what I
I
was gonna
look,
ask you. I was
it
gonna ask
has,
you, did you have a bad impression on you?
I have my, oh Lord, how can I put this nicely?
Mhm.
I feel like people can talk a good talk, but can't walk that walk. And I know it might sound like a cliche, but that's what it is. And I said, who wants to keep going through the same stuff like a repeated cycle over and over and over? I don't. And I'm not going to. I would prefer to either be by myself, do my own thing, like I say, focus on me because I'm a go-getter. Like I am a go-getter. Like I don't need somebody dragging me down. And it seems like these men that I keep coming across, they have all this extra baggage, all these extra. You can't put the ex-wife in check, the kids. Like, look, my child is 19 years old. He's 19. He lives with his dad now. Like, I'm a free agent. Like, I can just do what I want to do. Now, I mean, halal wise, yeah, but
Mhm.
It just left a bad taste in my mouth, like for real. Because now it seems like every time this happens, I'm the one who have to pull myself back up, and then when I'm okay, I'm in a good spot, here comes somebody else with the extra, So I feel like, all right, I need a break. I really need a break
So
because this is not working.
me and you had a conversation the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
you had floated the idea of marrying a brother that was Christian.
Yes, I
Why?
did. And I did. I was like, and I'm not saying that I want to jump and get married or nothing like that. I'm just asking, like, can we marry other? Because this rodeo, baby,
CJ, I
it's
don't know if
just,
you get excuse me, CJ. I don't know if you get asked that a lot, but I get asked that all the
are
time.
you serious?
All the time. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. And that's why I brought it up.
That's a problem. It's a problem. And then you want to have a second wife, but you can't even provide and take care of your first wife. That's ridiculous to me.
You hear that all the time.
But it's true. Like you sit up here talking about.
It's true for some brothers, and then it's not true in other situations. But
Yeah.
the reason why I say that is because I've done it. I've heard the complaints. I've heard that. So, but to me, I think I don't know. I think on both sides, both men,
Yeah.
the brothers and the women,
Mm-hmm.
both have unrealistic expectations about what these marriages are going to look like.
Yeah.
And I say that for both because, to be honest with you, and people don't like when I say it, but I'm gonna be straight up. If coming from the culture that we come from, right?
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking about Black Americans, used to dating and having boyfriends, girlfriends, and all that. Then you become Muslim, you take your shahada, and then it's like, all right, we don't do that. All right, cool. But it's hard to go from just talking to somebody on Messenger or on whatever, or somebody introduced us in the masjid. So we talk for a few months and now we just get married.
Yeah.
Our culture. That's not what we do. So then that's why I think that a lot of times these marriages that we have, they don't work out or they don't last as long because we don't really come from that culture.
Yeah.
And that's our culture's problem. That's not really, you know, a lack of iman or nothing. We don't come from that. You know what I mean? And then the other thing, I'll be 100% here, and this is from somebody I did polygyny before, and you know, I ain't gonna say it was a mess. It was definitely an experience. I mean, I could say for me, what my problem was just my own maturity. I ain't gonna blame nobody or nothing. Just my own maturity. After a while, I was like, man, this is a headache. You know what I mean?
I've heard that several times.
But I think what's realistic and what I've been trying to do, we've been trying to get. Like we did one video with myself and a few other brothers who did, and I hate when people say it didn't work out because I can't even say my situation didn't work out. Like it just, you know, it worked for a while as long as it worked.
Yeah, it just worked that time.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get someone to come.
Yeah.
Who's currently still in polygyny and whose situation.
Yeah, because there are those that are successful with polygamy.
And
I know of like 3 people that actually do it, and they're fine, and their wives actually get along.
But here's the thing about it though, right? And I wish we could get Imam Amin to come talk about it because he's in that boat. But and I ain't trying to put all this business out there, but just take his situation. Everybody involved in both his marriages or the 3 of his marriages, they all want the same thing. So they all want they want the deen, and they're happy with the person that they marry.
They want a man, yeah.
But here's the thing: all of them work.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's. Of course, no grown woman should be taking care of a grown man. I don't believe in that. However, in our culture and our society, if we want to live the way that we live and be comfortable, your wife should work.
I agree. Yeah. That's my thing. You haven't worked in 10 years. Yeah. Why wouldn't you want your own money? Like I've always worked. I've been working since I was 16 years old. And I'm not working now, and I'm about to lose my mind. Cause I'm so used to having my own. I'm so used to taking care of things that need to be taken care of, like bills and stuff. Like I'm used to that.
That's why I said, sometimes it depends on how it was when you met the lady. Like if he was the person that can be the main provider, and he was doing that for so long, she developed a sense of laziness. So that's not who she trying to get that person to work is like, you know, they don't want to do that because they've been used to conditioned to this way of life for almost 10 years. So that's hard for them to get from here to there. So Karimah, you can sit and scream and say that, but it's different on her end.
Yeah.
Because you're a working person, whereas though she wasn't working for 10 years. So her whole perspective is different from yours. Because she hasn't been doing that at all.
And it's, to me, I just feel like you still doing, you might as well just get back married. That's how I started looking at it. Like, y'all might as well just live in the same house and you work and she sit at home. That's how I started seeing it. Because I started getting irritated at one point.
I want to ask you something though, right? Just a real... hypothetically, right? If you were able to marry a Christian brother, right? If you were able, if it was permitted to, how do you think that would look? Like for you, like how do you think that like, because a lot of women say that to us and or ask us that, and then I don't know if y'all ever really ponder what it would look like, you know, like your love for Allah and for how you want to run your household and raise your children. If you were able to do that, do you like count on your persuasion skills? Like, if you persuade this guy
Thought about that because that's a lot of women think that they can persuade a man that's not Muslim, because it's not just me now, it's a lot of them, and they feel like they can persuade it. But I've thought about it and I'm like, it might not even work because you know, just by the belief system, for one, like I don't believe what you believe, and that might be a conflict. And then for two, you know how when you at home and they might have like crosses and stuff in the house. I was thinking about that, and it might be petty to some people, but I was like, oh, I can't live in a house with no crosses. You know, that's just something that I was thinking about. And then, you know, the jewelry. I know, because one of the brothers that I know, he wears the cross, and I was like, how would I look on the side of him as a Muslim, and I got my hijab on, and you got a cross on? We gonna look weird, you know? So like, I'm thinking about that, and I was like, no, this might not work. This not gonna work, you know? Like, I started thinking and questioning myself, like, how could that possibly even work? Like this.
And the other thing is, what if you were able to do that and you married this brother and then he turned out to be a bum and he don't work? You know, it's like,
but that's the thing. Like, I know this person. Like, I know this person from growing up, so I know they not a bum. That's why I was asking, because I know this person. I know their background. I know their family. I know them. You know, so
become Muslim. What's the issue with that?
I don't really think that he dabbled into it, because his mom is a
pastor.
She's, what do you call it, a theologist or something?
Evangelist?
Is it something with theology or something, like? And she, you know, she's a Christian lady or whatever. But I think that, like you say, conditioning. Like, you grew up as a Christian. Like I said, with me, I didn't grow up as a Christian. I didn't have that constantly in my ear. You know, I got a chance to venture out and decide what I wanted to do versus my parents, you know, telling me, you need to get up and go to church. You need to go to Bible study. You know, because so it's like, you hear it so much and it's repetition to where you can't think for yourself and be like, you know, question stuff. Because I questioned a lot when I was growing up. I questioned so much. My nickname was Quita Q, because I questioned everything growing up, you know. But for him, it's like you hear your parents in the back of your head, and then you thinking like, what would my family think? You know, what would my family think about this? If the first thing they're gonna say is, oh, he became a Muslim because of her, and then fingers gonna be pointed at me. You know what I'm saying? So I've thought about it, and I just said to myself, like, this ain't gonna cut it. It's just not gonna work.
Like, are you willing to compromise your faith just to be happy?
Exactly.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. Like, I would be displeasing Allah. You know what I'm saying?
You know what happened? And you know what happened?
Huh?
You know what happened?
What?
People do it. It's just not publicly.
Yeah.
They don't do it.
I'm telling you, I've even asked you. I said, would I go to hell for that?
Yeah, man.
I'm so like, for real.
It's not for us to say, but you know, like, people. There's a lot of people. I mean, bro, I tell you, including myself, because at one time in my life, that's how I got burnt in marriage, and I felt like, man, I ain't never getting married, and I ain't gonna front. Yeah. Sometimes now I feel like, yo, my situation don't work out, I ain't never doing this again. You know what I mean? So
somebody close to me recently, they're going through some situations, and that's actually what he said. CJ, he said, I'm not getting married again.
Yeah, and
I don't want to go through.
In your heart, you know, you love Allah, and you know, but it is rough in dealing with other people.
And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
CJ, he went and spoke to an imam, And the imam told him, it's like, oh man, you ain't Muslim no more because you saying you don't want to get married.
But that don't make you not a Muslim because you don't want to get married. You just don't want to get married. That's like
a lot of niggas, they just be making up their own
Yeah.
But like,
they be making their old stuff up.
There's a lot of brothers, man, that especially like we actually had this conversation in the barbershop one day with a few brothers, and they would say the same thing, like, yo, I love my wife to death, but if it don't work out, you know, I'm hitting the street again. I'm not doing this again. And
Yes. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
And the thing is I can't even judge nobody because I've felt like that before. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that now.
And it's I mean, but you don't want to give up hope either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow, that stuff it'll wear out. It wear, you know, and especially we getting older, you know, you don't want to go out your last years.
Yeah.
On no bullshit either. You know what I mean? So, you know, definitely, you know, you keep keep the faith up. You know.
Like, I'm not against marriage. Like, I'm not against it. But I said the next go around, I'm asking for bank statements. I'm asking for birth certificates. I'm asking for it all because I don't need nobody lying to me about, sister, I can provide for you. I can provide for myself. My thing is, you being the man of the house, I need you to do what you're supposed to do. And I'm going to be submissive to a man who doing what he's supposed to do, first of all. And then I'm not the type of woman that's just going to let my man just work and I'm just sitting back stacking my bread. Like, I'm going to help him. But these men, they on some other stuff, man, for real.
The way I am, right? I'll tell you from the door, I can't provide for you. So if you're looking for me to pay your bills, it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? I can't pay your bills. I can teach you deen. I can lead you in salat. I can help with some bills. I can show you how to.
And that's different. You can help. You know, that's different.
But for me, my thing is, I want my woman to work. If I got one woman, 2 women, 4 women, I want everybody to work. I want everybody to get this money, and we're going to travel.
But that's how you.
Yeah, that's how I am. But I'm not into all that. I ain't trying to live off.
That's how I feel like that's how you grow. Like, I shouldn't be sitting on my behind while you working. That's just how I am. That's how my grandma raised us. Like, you get up, you either gonna go to school, you gonna work, you gonna do something. You're not gonna just be a bum and just be sitting in the house with your hand out. We don't do that out here.
I don't believe in no. This is just me. All those so-called roles, like, I don't need no girl to cook or to clean. I'll cook, I'll clean. I don't mind doing any of that stuff. We all need to get money, and we all need to pray and study and fight and argue and make up. Like, that's the stuff that I'm on. But like, a lot of times, like, you see a lot of people, they get sucked into what they think their role is supposed to be. There is no supposed to. And or people think, oh, the traditional Muslim woman does this and the traditional Muslim man does it. There's no such thing, because Islam is our deen, and we all have our own cultures. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the thing is, we've never defined what Black American culture is.
Never.
So we could talk about what Africans do, what Arabs do, what Pakistanis do, but that's their culture. That's fine for them. But what we do, like, something we need to define that, and we can do whatever works for us, and it's still, you know.
Yeah.
Khalil,
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I want. CJ, I wanted to say that too. That man, that's one of the things that really, really burns me up, man. Is when I hear that. Like, me personally, I'm telling you, I don't care what the Pakistanis are doing or the Bangladesh. I'm only worried about what our people doing.
Yep.
That's it, because they only worry about what their people are doing.
You right.
They care less what we doing. And for us to keep looking for them to help us is insane, man.
Yep.
It really is. Like, that joint is like driving me nuts with us.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. That, you know, and
like you said earlier, they have their own culture and the way of doing things, the way that's successful for them. we need to come up with a way that we can do things that's successful for us.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta look at that culture, right? The way they find their mates and stuff like that, it's a screening process. I don't know if y'all know, but
Mm-hmm.
they have a screening process with these ladies and trying to find these suitable ladies for that man. We don't have nothing like that. It's like you want to hook up, okay. But like you said, CJ, that's just the culture. That's how we do things here.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't get mad at them, nor can you make a comparison because that's the
Yeah.
way we do things, and this is the way that we do things. Should it be worked out better? Yes, but that's something that we have to fix. And it don't have to be fixed by somebody that's outside. It need to be fixed by us within our group.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna be all of us, and that's why I keep telling people, like, you gotta get some of us are just too far gone, right? So it's gonna be like-minded people within the black community and within the black Muslim community, because we can't save everybody. Everybody
I
ain't.
don't get that either. I don't know why we keep trying to make everybody conform to the way that we conform.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
ain't gonna happen,
People
man.
that you have that's agreeing to what y'all agreeing and go from there.
Yep,
Yeah. I agree.
yep.
I don't know. I'm not, like I say, I'm not,
And
not for
that's
getting
how it
married.
goes. That's how it starts. It starts like, say if it's 10 brothers, right, that's committed, and we doing this, and we, right? Now that's 10 families. That's 10 families. My family marry your family, CJ, your family marry into Karimah family, and we keep growing and expanding like that.
Mhm.
That's how it starts like that. But we want to be with this one and that one, and it's insane, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kareem, is you getting a lot of pressure from not wearing the chemo now? People messing
Hmm.
with you?
I
Why?
was at one point, and it was mainly the brothers. Now I still cover. Don't get it twisted. Like I still, cover, especially when I'm praying and stuff like that. I do. But a lot of the brothers, one guy was like, "Are you okay? Is something wrong?" I was like, "What?" Because I don't have. I said, "You know what? I'm okay, and thanks for asking." Like I try not to be rude.
Mhm.
Like I really try not to be rude, but it's mainly been the brothers. It's no sisters now. It's the brothers. I've noticed that you've taken off your hijab. Are you all right? Are you going through something? Sister, do you need some help? I'm like, man. Yeah. But
All right, so if you don't mind us asking, because
mm,
this is something that it comes up all the time, right? So
mm,
is that a struggle for you, or is it, to me? And that's why I was saying in the beginning, it's there's a lot more pressure on the sisters than it is on.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
no
Right.
there's no uniform or anything that you can identify. I mean, if somebody see me walk in a barbershop one day and I cut my beard off, God forbid, maybe somebody say, "Yo, man, what's wrong with you?" Whatever. But it's different for y'all. So it's like,
Yeah, it's more pressure. Right.
is that a struggle
yeah.
for you, or is it just like, you know what, I got a new haircut, I want to show it, or like,
It's really not a struggle. Like when I first started wearing it, it was a struggle because I was like, I don't feel like I'm worthy of wearing it. And stuff because I really didn't know what the significance of it was or what it meant and stuff like that. Like I didn't know. I just threw it on my head.
mm-hmm,
But now I'm more so like I'm just doing it whatever, like taking it day for day. Like I'm not gonna keep putting pressure on myself about wearing something on my head or whatever. Like I'm just not like you have sisters who have a keymark on, but they got cuts in their jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like it's no
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not trying to pick and point or nothing like that, but I'm still Muslim at the end of the day. I'm still Karimah at the end of the day. I'm still gonna respect people. I'm still gonna laugh, joke, smile. I'm still me, and I do wear it. Like I still wear it, but I just choose not to right now. Like, and I pray that Allah would guide me to what he want me to be, not where everybody else want me to be and want me to look like. And no, you know what I'm saying? So I just like my son, he had actually said something about it. He was like, Mama, like, what we doing here? So I just told him, like, I mean, I'm wearing it. I'm still wearing it. I just don't have it on right now. So he was like, mama, to each his own. Like, he's not even trying to go back and forth with me or none of that. But like I say, it's been a lot of the brothers asking, why I'm not wearing it. And I just choose not to. Like, if I go somewhere, like, I might throw it on and I might not. That's just how I am. Like, I'm doing things the way I want to do things. I'm still Karimah at the end of the day. Like, I'm still gonna respect you. I'm still gonna give you that. I'm not gonna talk down on you. I'm not gonna belittle you. I'm still her. I just feel like I got my hair done. I'm like you said, I got my hair done and I want to show it. That's really just what it is. Like, I'm gonna be honest. When I started wearing the hijab, the kimar, whatever you want to call it, I felt like I let myself go.
Yeah.
I did. If y'all would have saw what was up under there, y'all would have been like, "Oh, wait a minute now, like, what you doing?" Because I felt like I let myself go. I felt like I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't feel like me, because y'all got to remember, I come from doing, having my hair done all the time, having my nails done, that's just how I was before I became Muslim, and I just I feel like I started like letting myself go. I didn't feel attractive, like, I'm like, wait a minute, you can be Muslim, but you can still be cute. You can still fix yourself up. You don't have to look all, all frumpy and stuff. Like, you don't have to do that, because I didn't know, like, how to dress. That was one thing. I didn't even know how, like, from coming from that culture, I didn't know how to dress, so I had to start dabbing in a little bit, and then I started ordering stuff from the sisters in Philadelphia because I liked how they dresses were. I thought they were nice looking, and because they don't sell stuff like that out here.
Yeah.
It's a process. To me, it's just a process.
So you
And
still wanted to look fashionable.
yeah, I still wanted to look nice, to look fashionable. I don't want to look like I'm just soaking in my sorrows. Like, I don't want to look like that.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing. I remember my ex-wife when before she took Shahada, and me and her, we was friends before, and she used to ask me about Islam, and she would say, "Well, do I have to wear black? Do I?" And I'm like, "No, you don't have to do that."
yeah,
But to a lot of people, that's the misconception. And
Yeah.
I remember, what actually did it for her. I had introduced her to a friend of mine, and Sister Zaki, and she was doing these fashion shows and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And she had took her to a fashion show, and that
Mm-hmm.
really, like, she showed her pictures, and of all things, I can't speak for her. I mean, we ain't together no more, but like, I remember her saying, like, that's what did it for her. Made her say, you know what, I am going to take my shahada because I'm not going to lose my identity by becoming a Muslim. And I think a lot of people, they because of whatever their perception is about Islam before, they think that now, I become a Muslim, now I have to wear this uniform.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
None of that's true.
I think.
The thing is, for me, I went to Umrah dressed the same way, like, that I'm dressed right now. Fitted, short sneakers, like, and I walk around, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb, but I don't fucking care. Like, I'm me. I'm gonna be who I am.
Yes.
And Khalil always got the camise on. Like, that's what he likes to do, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can find your way, whatever. Like, Islam is not your identity is your character in Islam. It's not your clothing. As long as you're presentable and you're following the guidelines of the law set. That's what's important. You know what I mean?
I've actually had women ask me about the religion, right? And they were so interested in it, but that question is, do I have to wear that?
Yeah.
And that can turn a person away.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I know that's like That's a question I get asked a lot too. That one, what you said
Yeah.
pertaining to the headscarf and all that stuff. They ask that a lot, man.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
like new converts. Yeah,
Yep.
that's like a struggle, and that goes back to what you were saying, CJ, about the culture that we so used to, women so used to grooming themselves in this type of way in this culture that it's hard for them to just flip over from that.
Yeah.
And then they, like
That's
she said, they let go, so they'll be like,
You don't even have to.
no. The thing is, like they'll let go. They'll once the key mark come on, they
man.
don't groom themselves no more underneath. They don't do none of that stuff underneath, and it's just like when that key mark come off, it's like
Baby,
whatever.
when that keyboard come off, it's like cotton heaven up under there, baby. Cause I'm telling you, I actually went natural 3 times, y'all. 3 times in the last couple of years. And I would take my chemo off and I'd be like, I can't I can't keep doing this. I gotta do something to my hair. Like, and they say if you put that thing on, it's gonna mess your hair up and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? Today, and I've always worn my hair short. Like I would grow it out and then I would just cut it out. Like since I want to say 13 years old, I've had a short haircut. I've just liked short hair. And I guess it just clicked on me and I was like, I want a haircut, and I went and got a haircut. And I don't feel bad for getting a haircut. Like, because you kind of start feeling guilty because, you see some of the Muslims that and I know they talking. But they don't really want to come at you and be like, you not supposed, because people like pointing fingers. Mm-hmm. They like to point fingers, but the ones, like, sometimes I feel like the ones who point fingers have so much stuff that they doing. And I be like, you need to worry about what you got going on over there and stop worrying about me not covering my hair up. Mm-hmm. Like, for real. I know some stuff about you that nobody should know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's how I see it, though. It's like everybody, I posted that one day. Like, you can't even have an opinion without the next person trying to dig you in the ground. Mm-hmm. But like I say, I still wear it. I'm not against it, to each his own. Like at one point, I would have wanted to start wearing a niqab. Mm-hmm. I did want to start wearing that, and I'm like, we in Houston, baby. I'm not wearing it. It's hot year round out here. Like it was hot this morning. I'm not wearing it. No.
You wearing it now?
Huh?
You wearing the face mask?
That basically, when COVID. But for real, when COVID hit, I brought it out because I felt like I could breathe in this. I couldn't breathe with the mask on. So I put my ninja on and I went to the store and did my thing.
Funny.
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked to you because I always see your videos and stuff. And I wonder how she is as a person.
No, I'm pretty cool. I think I'm cool.
I want some of that food though. The food you be posting.
Man,
I be vegan, man. Where's the meat?
I eat meat. Like that's the thing. People think that I'm just a vegan. I'm not a vegan. I just like to explore in the kitchen. Put it like that.
Me too.
And then when I became vegan for health reasons. Like I feel like when I was eating meat, it was making my stomach swell up. Yeah. So I had said, you know what? Let me try something different. It ain't nothing wrong with trying something different, So I did this smoothie cleanse for I was trying to do 14 days, but I actually did 11 days where I drank nothing but smoothies for 11 days. And then I started incorporating salads and stuff with no meat. So I said, okay, well, I had lost 10 pounds just doing that. So after that, I said, well, let me see how am I going to keep this weight off of me. So that's when I started experimenting with just vegan food. And I just started creating and making all kind of stuff. And I was actually feeling a whole lot better. Like I would get up at 4:00 in the morning, no problems. I wasn't sluggish. My stomach wasn't bloated. Like I could actually I didn't have blurred vision. I could think straight, And then on top of that, I was actually taking herbs too. Mm-hmm. So people I thought you was vegan. I'm like, no, I did that because that meat was making me sick. It was actually making me sick.
We just eat
Yeah.
too much, that's all.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about doing it again. I'm thinking about doing it again, but it's like it seems like it's harder now than it was when I did it before. So
What I think a lot of people when they because there ain't nothing wrong with eating meat or because if
yeah,
there was, then the law wouldn't have said we could do it.
yeah,
But we
exactly.
get the sunnah of the Prophet say time. He never ate
So
until full capacity.
yeah,
He only ate meat a few times a month. Like
Yeah.
we actually followed the sunnah. We if just cut back. We
yeah,
wouldn't have all that. All those.
Yeah, right. He
yeah.
only ate it maybe, like you said, three times a month, if that.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't
Yeah.
it like a hadith or something about that would say that when you saw smoke or something coming out of his chimney or you knew he was cooking meat? Is that true?
I don't know.
It's something
Nah,
about
I never heard that.
yeah, I've heard that and I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was funny because I would see those memes and stuff, and like the vegan memes about like we the only species, don't no other species drink the breast milk of another species except for human. Why do we do it? And then you go believing that stuff, and then you forget the ayats is in the Quran though, and the law says
Yeah,
that
I was about to say.
the law
Yeah.
says that there's there's blessings in drinking
Yeah, a lot.
honey and all.
That's
So that's how
weird as heck, TJ. Because
a lot of people say that.
like
Yeah.
the cow is a benefit whether it's alive or dead. And I'm
Yeah.
explaining. When it's alive, you can get milk and nourishment from it. When it's dead, you can get hide, which is the skin, and you can get
Mm-hmm.
the meat to consume. So you like, well,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Yeah, it's
That's those what do you call those people? It's our people for one. I can't think of what they call themselves. Like the so-called woke people. I don't know what they call it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
the thing for me. Like I'm it's just not to do too much of anything in excess, which
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah,
crazy coming from me because I'm fat, but I'm a healthy fat nigga, so it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, like I drink water. All my vitals are good. I don't got no issues, no disease and stuff. So it's all about moderation, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like the vegan thing, I get it. Like for you, it's the same thing for me. Like the times when I do cut back and I don't eat, it's all for my health benefit. It's not because I feel bad for some animal. Like, nah.
Yeah. But it started to become like a fad. Like it was a thing to do.
Yeah,
But for me, it was for health reasons. Like I don't care what you doing. I'm worried about me.
yeah, yeah.
that's
So
why I was like, yo, man, where's the meat?
meat. My child eats meat. My family, they eat meat. I cook it. I'm more of a seafood person. My dad is a pescatarian. My dad is from the island. So that's all they eat is
Yeah, right.
fish. So he's been a pescatarian. I'm 40. He's been a pescatarian for as long as I've been alive. Healthy as I don't know what, so I'm just like kind of trying to be like my daddy, but he hasn't ate meat. I try to stay away from it because like I've even went in a halal store and they have chicken breasts as big as my head. And I actually asked the butcher, the store owner. And I brought him the pack of chicken and I said, excuse me. And he told me, Salam alaikum. We started going back and forth. I said, this is supposed to be halal, right? And he said, yeah. I said, but it looks like y'all pumped it up with antibiotics. He said, oh, it costs too much, sister, to raise a chicken organic. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Yeah, he told me it costs too much money to raise a chicken organic. So in my eyes, to me, it wasn't halal. I just said, this ain't no halal chicken. Y'all probably slaughtered it right, but you still injected it. You still putting harmful chemicals in the chicken.
Mm.
And he just couldn't say nothing after that. Like, so that's something else to think about too. Well, yeah, it's time for me to pray Isha.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
it's that time.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
You have a good.
Assalamualaikum.
You're very, very pleasant and full of information and
All
perspective.
right. Walaikum salam. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Bye.